Okay, welcome everyone. This is 1.2 on the characteristics of function graphs. Just like our previous lesson on domain, range, and end behavior, domain, range, and end behavior are all characteristics of a graph. Okay, these six that we're going to cover are other characteristics as well, right? So the first one, it's increasing and decreasing. It is very, very, very important that you guys look at it from left to right. Okay. If you look at the graph from left to right, if you are going up the graph, it's increasing. If you're coming down the graph, you're decreasing. Okay. That's it. But the key part is you have to look at it from left to right. Okay. So I took the liberty to draw out this graph here. Okay. And when we're talking about increasing and decreasing, we look at it from left to right. Where is it that this graph starts on the left-hand side? On the left-hand side of the graph, right? Where did it start? -8? No. 4? No. Negative infinity, right? It starts off at negative infinity because of this arrow here, right? So I know my first interval is going to start off at negative infinity. So I'm going to just put increasing for arrow up, decreasing for arrow down. And then put it over here. Up and down. Okay. And this is how I would approach these increasing, decreasing problems. Okay. So starting from negative infinity, I'm going down this graph, right? So I'm decreasing, correct? I'm decreasing, 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 and I get to that point right there at -4. Yeah? So from negative infinity to -4, I'm decreasing. I'm going to put parentheses around the negative infinity because I always do, right? Around the -4, though, to illustrate why we put parentheses around the -4, imagine that this graph was a roller coaster. Okay? You're on this roller coaster that looks like a W. Okay? You're going down this roller coaster, right? With your hair flowing through the wind, right? And you're going down this roller coaster. What happens to your body at -4? I don't care how big, how small, how tall, how wide you are. What happens to your body at -4? Huh? It goes slower, yes, but what happens physically? What happens to your body? Yeah, you're doing this, right? Kind of jerk back or jerk forward, right? Yeah, because the acceleration, you're going down, and then you're all of a sudden you're going up, so your body kind of jerks, right? Yeah. At that jerking point, -4, right? You are actually parallel to the ground. You're not decreasing, nor are you increasing. You're literally parallel to the ground, right? So that's why we have parentheses around the -4. Okay? That makes sense? And then at -4, you're increasing, right? You have an increasing, and then you hit this point here at 1. So from -4 to 1, you're increasing, right? And then you hit 1. And again, I'm going to illustrate why it's going to be a parentheses. Going back to the roller coaster, let's say you start off the roller coaster at -2, right? At x equals -2, that's the start of your roller coaster. Okay, so you have beautiful hair right now, right? And you're going up. Yeah. And you know how roller coasters start, right? You start really slow, right? You can hear the clicking of the tracks, right? Click, 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 click. And then all of a sudden it gets slower, right? Click, 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 and then you're here. Right? You're there. Yeah? Click. And then if you're in that front seat, you are literally looking at the horizon. Yeah? And I call it the holy crap moment. Yeah? Because it's about to start, right? You have that adrenaline rushing, you know it's gonna start, and you look at the sun, you look at the horizon, you look at all the parking lot and all the cars, and you're like, oh crap. Yeah. And then it starts, right? So once you look at that horizon, again, you're neither increasing nor you're decreasing, right? You're not going up this roller coaster, you're not going down this roller coaster, you are looking straight ahead, right? So at that moment, at 1 is that moment. Okay? So that's why we put parentheses every single time around increasing and decreasing. Okay, it's never included. Okay? Okay. So from that point 1 all the way down, you're going down, you're going down, you're going down, and you hit another jerking moment at 5. So you're going down, 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 union, 1 to 5. And then from 5 to infinity, you're going up, right? So you're increasing from there. Union, 5 to infinity. Questions on that? So that is increasing and decreasing. All right, the next one is it positive or negative, right? If the graph or if the function is above your x-axis, it's positive. If your graph is below the x-axis, it's negative. And we're talking about the y values. Okay? Is your y values positive or is your y values negative? Okay? And remember, the solutions are same thing as the increasing and decreasing. It's the x coordinates in interval notation. So going back to this graph, okay, it's equal to 0 at, your y is equal to 0 at 6, right here, right, at 6, at 3, at -2, and at -5, right? So I know that those points are going to be my points that I use. So I'm going to go positive and negative, just like how increasing and decreasing, I just looked at it from left to right and I just went with it, right? I'm going to do the same thing for positive and negative. So starting off at negative infinity, it's positive, 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 positive up till -5, right? So from negative infinity to -5, I'm positive. And let's talk about at -5. At -5, y value is 0, right? We classify that as neither positive nor negative. So it's always going to be in parentheses. Okay? Because at -5, it's neither positive nor negative. It's 0, right? So starting off at -5, all the way to -2, all the way here, we're negative, right? So from here to here, we're negative. So that's the case, right? From 2, positive, 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 to 3, we're positive. Yeah, so from -2, union, -2 to 3, we are positive. We're negative from 3 to 6. And then from 6 to infinity, we are positive, right? Positive, 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 all the way going up. Cool? That's positive or negative. Okay? Questions on that? No? Okay, the next one is going to be your x and y intercepts, right? And the cool thing about x and y intercepts, the other variable is going to be equal to 0. So for your x-intercept, your y is equal to 0 always. And your y-intercept, your x is equal to 0 always. Okay? So where does it cross the x-axis is your x-intercept. So your x-intercepts in this graph are going to be from -5, 0, -2, 0, 3, 0, and 6, 0. Right? All of them. Your y-intercept is going to be 0, 4. Yeah? Simple? Just the coordinate. Okay? Average rate of change is just the slope. Get the slope between 2 points. Okay? And use that formula, this formula here, to figure it out. Okay? I'm going to jump to 6 because 6 is the easier one to understand. The zeros of the function are just your x-intercepts. Okay, when is the function equal to 0 or when is y equal to 0? Those are your zeros of the function. Okay, so I believe we had -5, 0. Let me see. -5, -2, 3, and 6. So the zeros of the function are -5, -2, 3, and 6. Those are the zeros of your function. Okay, when x is equal to -5, -2, 3, and 6, your y is 0. Right? That's what the zeros of the function mean. Okay? Local max and local min. Local max occurs when the function goes from increasing to decreasing. Okay? Right where that happens, you create a top of the mountain. Okay? So it's also known as the top of the mountain. And local min occurs when the function goes from decreasing to increasing. Okay? Or the bottom of the valley. You create like a hole there, right? Okay? So that's the bottom of the valley. All right. So the local mins are going to be here and here. At 4, -4, comma, -2, and at 5, comma, -2, and your local max is going to be here at 1, comma, 5. Okay? So that's the basics of 1.2, class. Thank you very much.